fingerless gloves, cuffed fingerless gloves. Look how pretty they are. Real nice. And so let me see where the opening is. There it is. So this is the way they look. So isn't that pretty? Cute. You can put your jacket underneath or whatever you have on. And you can have a nice cuff there. Look how pretty those look. So this is a nice stitch, and I don't know what the name is, but I'm calling it knit to cross, like maybe cross stitch. So this is the way it looks, so maybe you can see it with a black background. And I did 24 rows of the cross stitch. It's a repetition of purl 1, knit 2, crossed, and you do that all the way to the end. You end with purl 1, because when you sew them together you have the purl 1 and the purl 1 here, and half of it gets lost, and this is what the seam looks like. So that's what it looks like. So it doesn't show much, but that's what it looks like. So very nice. Anyway, this is the way the stitch is. So it's 10 rows in total, 25 repetitions, and this is the way it's done. So you're one. Then you take the second one, right, that one, and you knit it. Put it on top of the first one and knit the first one. Again, you purl 1, take your yarn to the back, knit the second one, that one, whoops, okay, that one, knit it, pass it through, and then knit the first one. And now I purl, and now I pick up the second one, that one, knit it, pass it through, knit that one, and purl 1. So I'm going to knit the second one. Sometimes you need to have your fingers help you to pick it up, pass it through, knit that one, and purl 1. Very slow. Let's do that very slow. So I pick up the second one, that one. I will put my needle to the back because that's how I knit. Knit it, bring it to the front, pass it over. See, so now the second one is knitted first. And now you knit the first one, and now you purl. Let's do that again. I will knit the second one, that one, put my needle to the back, pass it through, over, and then knit the first one, and now I purl. So now that's what we're going to do the whole row. Knit the second one, and there's 40 stitches here, and I'm using a number 7 knitting needle. Yeah, 4.5 millimeters. So I'm going to knit the second one, knit the second one, pass it over, knit the first, and so that's the first row. On the second row, what you do is that you knit 1 and purl 2. Knit 1 and purl 2. Knit 1 and purl 2, and do that the whole row to the end. Now I have repeated my 25 rows. This row, on this row I did purl 1, cross 2 knits, purl 1, cross 2 knits, But what happens is that this glove is constructed by, it's one single piece. So I did my 25, and this is the right side, but this is the wrong side because you have to fold it and knit on the other side your cuff. So that means that this needs to be turned, and I will knit the right side here because it needs to have the cuff going that way. This is the right side of the glove, which is like that, and I need to knit the cuff, which is the wrong side, on this side because it has to be folded. So this is what we're going to be starting right now, that part. And that means that I'm going to do the opposite. On this row, I will do the same as the right side, which is purl 1. Oh, I'm not changing my needles yet. I purl 1 because you need to change your needles when you do the cuff. You really need to. So now I do the same as what I did on the other part. I cross 2 and purl 1 and cross 2. So now this is the right side of the glove, but it's going to be the wrong side of the folded part. So now I'm going to pick up my size 10 knitting needle. I'm leaving the 7 aside, pick up a size 10 and pick up another yarn to make it a little thicker, because that is what makes this bling part there. Look how pretty that looks. So anyway, you can do it with any yarn. So now I am going to knit the first one. That's my new yarn. My tail is there, and I knit that one and purl 2 and knit 1 and purl 2. Now remember, this is the wrong side of the new stitch, which is on the right side of your glove, because this is going to get folded. So let's continue. We knit 1 and purl 2. So now I finished that row. My stitches are on my yellow needle, which is a size 10. These are a size 7. And this is the wrong side of the glove, and it will be the right side of the cuff. And we repeat the same thing. We purl 1, and it's easier to knit this because you picked up the other stitches with a size 10. So we do the same. We go and knit the second one, pass it through, and knit the first one. Let's repeat that. You purl 1, cross that one over, knit it, pass it through, and purl 1, pick up the second one, knit that one, pass it through, and knit that one. Let's do it one more time. Purl 1, pick up the second one, that one, knit it, pass it through, and knit the first one, and you repeat the whole thing. So it means that this is going to be this side, this will be turned this way, and we are going to repeat on this. See, this is the wrong side, this will be the right side of your cuff, and after doing your first crossed row with the other yarn, You repeat with the 2 yarns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times and bind off. Bind off on the wrong side. We're going to bind off, and we're going to do it with our size 10 needle, the big one. So we're going to knit 1, and let's do what it shows here. See, that's a purl and that's a purl. That means we need to purl, pass your yarn to the other side so it doesn't bother you in order to cast off. That's a purl. It means we need to bring our yarn this way and purl, and take that one and cast it off. And that's a knit. So we're going to knit it, take that one and cast off. So the next one is a purl. These 2 are purls. So we purl that, and we pass and purl the next one and bind off, and that's a knit, and we bind off. So I am sewing the part that goes on the bottom of my hand right there. So I see that on my other glove I have 7 repetitions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I sewed to there. So I'm going to do the same here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I need 1 more. Remember how we sew this? From the knot to the knot, and from the knot to the knot. Let's see if we have the 7 on each side. I always check twice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do. I think I need, yeah. Okay, and then on this side I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So now I go to the back, turn, take one piece from one side, the other piece from the other side, and we're going to make a little knot there. Make sure it's nice and tight. Let's make another one. And now we weave in the tail. Let's see. So it doesn't show. There we go. Now we can cut it. And we are going to weave in, we're going to sew the top part. So I cut the little one off, the hairy one, because I don't want to sew with that one. I want to sew with the plain one. And I go to my first knot. This is the right side, so this is the way it's going to be sewn. I go to my first knot there, and go into the knot on the other side, right into it, right in the middle, and go to the first knot there. So now from here to the next knot, right there, and from here to the next knot, and from here to the next knot. So now I sewed the cuff from the edge to where I started with the other yarn, right there. So let's do one side and the other. Now I am going to turn my glove, because this is the right side of this one. That is what I'm going to sew. I always sew on the right side. So let's go and do that here. and we go from the knot to the knot, and the same as always, go from knot to knot. So I counted my rows, and now I see that I'm the same as here, and you can see that the opening is the same on both sides. That's one. This is the other. So now I go to the, put my yarn to the back of the glove, and let's do the same. We pick up one stitch from one side, the other one from the other, make a knot there, make it nice and tight. Let's do another one. There we go. And now we weave in. I don't like my yarn to show when it's sewn, so that is a very nice finish. And so now we have our two gloves, and of course these you have to weave in also. So that's one glove there, and this is the other one. So we've got a pair. Look how pretty those look. Very nice. Pretty. Anna took a picture of the leg cuffs, and she will sew it. So these are 55 stitches that I did on these two needles. Left wrong side with this size 10, right side with size 7, the same stitch. You purl one, cross the two knits, purl one, cross two knits, all the way around, and then bind off on the left side, on the wrong side, with the size 10 knitting needles, this one. And now I sewed from here to here. You can see where the seam is, right there. And now it's to put between your shoe and your leg, or over your pants, or wherever you want, but that's a nice thing. We're going to make some for your head also. Heads, cuffs. Okay.